Japan and the United States in World War II, from conflict to cooperation. The relationship between Japan and the United States is strong today, marked by diplomacy, trade, and cultural exchange. But just a few decades ago, these two nations were locked in one of the most intense military conflicts of the 20th century, World War II. In this script, we'll explore how the war began between these nations, what happened during it, and how peace was eventually restored, all with the goal of educating, not sensationalizing. How it began. The attack on Pearl Harbor. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The goal was to neutralize the U.S. Pacific Fleet and give Japan freedom to expand across the Asia-Pacific region. The attack caused heavy damage and loss of life. The very next day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war on Japan, and the U.S. officially entered World War II. This moment marked the start of a deadly Pacific conflict between the two nations. Why did Japan attack? Japan had been expanding its empire across East Asia in search of natural resources and strategic control, but American sanctions and diplomatic pressure had slowed their progress. In response, Japan chose military action, hoping a swift blow to the U.S. Navy would delay American involvement long enough for Japan to solidify its gains. The Pacific War, a series of fierce battles. The war that followed included some of the most famous and hard-fought battles in history. Battle of Midway, 1942. A major U.S. victory that turned the tide of war in the Pacific. Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa. Brutal island campaigns that brought U.S. forces closer to Japan's mainland. Each battle resulted in massive costs for both sides, in lives, equipment, and morale. The end of the war, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In August 1945, the United States made the controversial decision to drop 2 atomic bombs. Hiroshima on August 6th, Nagasaki on August 9th. These bombings brought unprecedented destruction and human loss. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender, bringing World War II to an end. After the war. From enemies to allies. The end of the war marked not just a military conclusion, but the beginning of a remarkable transformation. Japan adopted a new democratic constitution in 1947. The U.S. helped rebuild Japan's economy and infrastructure through peaceful support. Today, Japan and the U.S. are close allies, cooperating on global trade, technology, and security. Key takeaways. The Japan-U.S. conflict in WCS was rooted in political, economic, and military tensions. The war ended in devastation, but also set the stage for peace, rebuilding, and alliance. This history reminds us of the costs of war and the power of diplomacy to heal even the deepest divisions,